Is this gonna be a problem if that door is open? My dog's kind of having a mental breakdown if she keeps coming in here and wanting pets. I should probably turn that off. I can't tell how loud I'm talking or if there's other sounds going on because of this hat. So just hope it's all good. Also pulled out the egg chair for this one. This is actually the chair that goes with my desk, or the chair that I have with my desk. But my mom stole it to put it in the dining room, even though our dining room has chairs. So I stole a kitchen stool to put into my room, and now we're just like trading chairs around. Okie dokie. So this video is going to be prepping for my reading in 2026. So we have two main parts, and each of the two parts have a part, so 4 parts. That's 8. 4. So I'm going to be going through my 2025 reading goals, talking about my 2026 reading goals. Then I have a board game that I made, and we're going to play the board game, and then I'm going to pick the books based on the results of the board game. So we're just going to sit and talk for a little bit. Starting out with my reading goals for 2025. So I, in the past, had just had a reading goal number that I wanted to hit, and I didn't really do anything else. But last year I thought, I think it'd be kind of fun to challenge myself to see if I could hit other goals that weren't just let me see how many books I can read, but specific goals that I wanted to accomplish to kind of further the types of books that I was reading and be more specific and intentional about the books that I was reading, if that makes sense. But I didn't do very good this year, so we're gonna go through them and see how well I did. My 2025 reading goals. First was to read 10 classics. I think I read 3. 2 is my Goodreads goal, 75 books. I'm currently at 65, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not reading 10 books by the end of the year. It's just not happening. 3 is complete the A to Z title challenge. Let me see how well I did on that. So as of now, I have all but 6 letters, which is pretty good because I still have Z, Q, X, Y, U, and M. And most of those letters are kind of hard, so I feel like I did pretty good on that. I still didn't hit it though. So far I've hit none of them. Read all my current physical TBR, not even close. Read 10 plus genres, I did. Go to a signing, new release event, book club, or book club event. I did some of those things, so that's like a half. Read 10 nonfictions, I did. DNF 5 books, I did. Read 10 Libby books, I did. Read half my current Kindle/Libby TBR, I did, kind of. What I actually ended up doing was going through it again, like deep dive, and decide what I actually wanted to read and what I just wrote down. 11, get a shelf, which I did. I have this one, and then I have another one. I actually got 2 shelves this year. And then number 12 is to listen to 5 audiobooks. So I completed 6 out of the 12. So exactly half of the goals. I want to do better this year because I totally can. My reading year just literally went not that great. I don't know what it is. I've talked about this several times, but my reading year this year has just not been that great, which is okay. The year before it was amazing, spectacular, so maybe we just needed an off year to get back on it. Now it's time for the more fun part, which is my goals for 2026. So I've got my 2026 journal out, and I have 12 goals. So I decided not to include my reading goal as one of the goals because that's just something I'm trying to reach. The other ones are more specific. So cool. Yeah, cool. So my actual reading goal number for 2026 is 52 books. That's 1 book a week. And I think that's pretty doable. Last year it was 75. Did not hit that. The year before that, I don't even remember what it was, but I went way over. but I want to be more intentional with the books that I read and hit these other goals more so than the number. I'm really focusing on quality over quantity, and to stop if I'm not enjoying a book and not force myself to read it. So starting out with the goals, number 1 is to read all of my current TBR. So that includes physical books that I have, Kindle Unlimited books that I want to read, Libby books, and series. So physical books, I have 35. Kindle Unlimited books, I have 4. Libby books, I have 22. These aren't books that I have. They're just books that I want to read that are on Libby, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have 22 holds right now. Series, I want to finish 9 that I'm in the middle of, which equates to more than my reading goal, but I would just like to knock some of those off the list. 2 is, again, I want to try and do the A to Z challenge, which if you don't know what that is, it is reading a book that starts with every letter of the alphabet. I would like to actually hit that. I know some of the letters are hard, but I want to see if I can complete that this year. 3 is to read 10 classics. I did not accomplish that this year, so I want to try again. 4 is what I'm calling reading in the setting. So this is actually on my life list I have a life list where there's things that I want to accomplish in my life, and one of the things on there is to read a book in every state while being in that state, but I kind of wanted to make this one more broad, so that's my life goal. This is for the year. I want to read books set in the location that I'm in. So my home state, I can obviously knock that off easily, but if I'm going on a trip, traveling anywhere, I would like to try and read a book set where I'm at and kind of just fully immerse myself in the atmosphere of that location. 5, I want to experience some of my book realities list. So again, this is on my life list, but I have a big long list in my notes app that I've added to for a while now, and it is what I call my book realities. So it's just a big long list of things that I read about that I want to experience. Some of them are very simple, like, oh, I want to dance in a flower field or dance in the rain. Some of them are more specific. They're all capable of accomplishing. Like, it's not like, oh, I want to ride a dragon. It's just little things that I would like to experience. So I would like to experience some of the things on that list. 6 is to read 10 nonfiction books. I did that last year, but I want to do it again even more. I really do enjoy nonfiction as a genre. I just don't gravitate towards it often because usually it is pretty heavy and emotional. So I would like to maybe find some books that I really, really enjoy that just happen to be nonfiction. I do appreciate the genre. I just don't gravitate towards it that much. 7 is to read my childhood books. So I unfortunately left all of my childhood books behind, and this past year I kind of just felt the urge to have them again. So I kind of went through my brain and was going through different books that I have core memories associated with, and I went to Half Price Books and I've started recollecting the main favorites that I have. Not my entire collection, obviously, but some of my favorites, and I would like to read them. Even though I'm an adult, I think it would still be fun to read them because some of them I can read now and still enjoy. Some of them not so much, but it still will be a nostalgic thing. Like, Kit Kittredge is my favorite American Girl doll. I wanted to be Kit Kittredge, and I recently finished finding all of her books, and it won't take me very long. I just kind of want to read through them again and kind of live those moments again. I want to read Wonderstruck. That was my favorite book when I was a kid. I loved it so much. I want to read Holes again. Love the book, love the movie, and I feel like I would still love and appreciate it now. Harry Potter, Charlie Bones, things like that I can still read now and appreciate and enjoy, but kind of have a nostalgic feeling towards it from my childhood. I would just like to read them again because I have them, so why not read them? And I would like to collect more of them until I get, not my entire collection, because, I mean, I'm not going to get my Franklin and Little Critter books again, but kind of some core memories. I'd like 1 or 2 copies of maybe a Berenstain Bear book and things like that. I have the Arthur's Christmas book. Just books that kind of from my beginning, birth, childhood to like middle school, I think would be fun to reread some of those books. Number 8 is to get an ARC. So if you don't know what an ARC is, it's an advanced reading copy. I've always wanted to get an ARC, and you can get on lists for them and read ARCs. I would love to just kind of push myself to put myself on that list or to request one and see what happens. It's kind of would be exciting and fun to experience that. 9 is to do 10 rereads. That is not included in the 52 total. I have a lot of books that I absolutely love, and I limit myself on the amount of books that I can reread because I'm like, oh, it's not going towards my reading goal because I've already read it, so it doesn't count. Who freaking cares? It doesn't matter. So my goal is to reread at least 10 books that are my top books because I enjoyed them once. I want to enjoy them, appreciate them again, but I won't let myself. So I really want to let myself do that, and making it a goal is how I'm going to accomplish that. 10, I want to complete a book bingo board. So actually I found one on Pinterest and I printed it out. This one you can find on Pinterest, and I kind of just want to accomplish it. It's just kind of a fun little challenge to make reading more interesting, or picking my TBR out a little more interesting, and just a fun challenge to do that is involved with one of my favorite hobbies, which is reading. 11 is to listen to 10 audiobooks. I wanted to listen to 5 this year, and I definitely listened to more, but I want to keep trying and really find some good audiobooks that I'm enjoying. I don't love audiobooks, but I do kind of not hate them now, and I feel like one day I will love a good audiobook, because sometimes I don't want to read a physical book. Sometimes I want to listen to it while I'm cleaning or working on stuff, and I have to keep trying. And then number 12 is to deep annotate one book. I've seen tons of Pinterest pictures, and I have a whole Pinterest board on deep annotating a book, and I think it would just be really cool to deep annotate one of my favorite books and maybe just keep it for myself or give it to someone or pass it down, because my annotations, if I let you read a book with my annotations in it, I'm giving you a piece of me, and I think that would be really cool to do that even more heavily than I already do with one of my favorite books. That's all 12 of my reading goals for 2026. And to try and accomplish that, I created a little board game. And if you watched my Filling My Creative Cup, you already saw this because I made it in that video. But we're going to play the board game and then pick books based on the board game, and that will be my December TBR. I know this is still 2025, but kind of a fun practice to prepare myself for the 2026 reading goals that I've set for myself. I've also kind of made a few different spreads to help myself track it, kind of in a messy way. I kind of do prefer the messy look, but I do love a good magazine font, and I just have a bunch of pages to, I guess that's it, to accomplish these goals and track them in a fun way. Okay, sorry for the kind of weird angle, and also the board game is a little smushed because my dog sat on it, but I don't know if you can really tell, but there's a little key here that represents all the different colors. We have romance, mystery/thriller, fiction, goal card, which I'll explain if I land on one, fantasy, you pick, young adult, and nonfiction. So all it really is picking the genre, but then from there, I hopefully land on a star card, and if I land on a star card, I have to focus on a specific goal. Okay, if I'm being honest, I already played this game, but I realized my dog was barking the whole time in the background because someone was in our driveway, so I'm gonna start over because you couldn't hear me. Anyway, 6, young adult, rolled off the screen, but I got a 1. Pink means I can go over the bridge. Also means it's a nonfiction. Number 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The star card, that means I pick from the jar, and each card in the jar relates back to one of the goals. 3, another YA. 3, mystery/thriller. 2, another goal card. 5, a romance. 1, another mystery/thriller. 4, a you pick. 5, plain fiction or just fiction of any kind. 1, goal card. 6, 1, 2. Okay. we're done. So let's regroup here. Okay, so I actually pulled I landed on 3 goal cards. So I have to pick 3 from the jar. 1, 2, 3. Goal number 2, which is the A to Z challenge, which should be pretty easy to start out. 7, which is read my childhood books. 11, which is 10 audiobooks. So to recap, before I go find my TBR, I need to find 2 YA books, 2 mystery thriller, 1 nonfiction, 1 romance, and 1 you picked. Oh, and 1 fiction. So that's 8 books total. And then my goals are A to Z challenge, which should be literally any book as long as it's not a number. A book from my childhood and an audiobook. Okay, I will be back. Let me go figure this out. Okay, so I'm starting with my physical TBR to see if I can get as many books as I can off that list before the new year. So I have them in different categories. I have YA, mystery thriller, nonfiction, romance, straight fiction, and then I get a you pick, and I might pull, like, these are mostly fantasy and other random books because I get to pick, but I might also pull from one of these. Now I need to narrow this down a little bit because I'm not reading 847 books. Okay, that was surprisingly a lot harder than I thought. It just took me forever to be decisive and figure it out, but I figured out all 8 of the books I'm going to read. Let me talk through them. So the first 2 books will actually be in separate videos. So first, for my first YA, I chose One Dark Window, and that will be the book club book for the month of December. So if you want a reading vlog or you want to hear my thoughts on that, then it'll be coming eventually. Also, I'll do the posts where I post every week my updated thoughts. And then the other book, which will be the rom-com, the other book that will be in a video is the romance option. So I chose 2 espresso martinis. This book will be in another episode of reading a book and making an outfit based on the book. So again, if you want my thoughts on this book, it will be in a separate video. Now the rest of these books, I'm going to make a video or try to make a video that is reading my December TBR that are the books picked from this video. I'm going to see how many of them I can read in one video, so we'll see how many I can read. But my second YA is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I've really been intrigued by this book because I recently have just seen several aesthetic TikToks of it, and reading the back and what it's about, I'm very intrigued to read this. It's kind of a unique genre or blend of genres as well, and it's a trilogy, and I just want to start, so why not? Then for my mystery / thrillers, I chose a childhood book because that is one of the goal cards that I picked. So I chose Holes because it is a little bit of a mystery, and I thought this was a good book. I can still read it as an adult. Like, it's still got some storylines to it and an enjoyment as an adult, I think. But I'm excited to read it, and actually this one is a special edition, and it's got like a guide in the back on how to survive the camp. Then for my second mystery thriller, I chose the audiobook for the challenge, and I chose Hot Wax. This is ML Rio, I believe. It's their newest book, and right now I'm on hold for the audiobook and the Kindle edition, so hopefully, fingers crossed, by the time I get to that book, I will be at the top of the list. If not, I might buy the physical copy. I really like their books, and so I'm intrigued to see what this next one is about. I know what it's about, but what is going to happen. Then for my nonfiction choice, I actually pulled 2 because they're kind of not necessarily very traditional nonfiction books. So I have Pattern Magic because I've had this for a long time, and I've been waiting for the perfect moment to read through this. It's not necessarily a book that you read through, but I do like to read through books like this. I find them interesting. And then I also have Everyday Fashions of the 30s, which again, you don't necessarily read through, you kind of just look through. But I am intrigued to look at it, read through it, and to get some inspiration from looking at it. What is left? Okay, my last 2 genres are fiction, so I chose Some Kind of Perfect, which is the 10th book in the Addicted Callaway series, which is the last book in the Addicted Callaway series. I would like to finish this series, one, before I start the Leica series and the Cobalt Empire series, because Cobalt Empire next year, 2 books are coming out, and 2, I started this series in 2024, and I think 2 years is long enough to finish this series. And then my last genre is you pick. So I chose fantasy because I don't have any fantasies. Well, I do. I have One Dark Window, but I didn't pull a fantasy. So I'm going to be reading The Awakening as Told by the Boys, which is a book in the Zodiac Academy series, which is actually book 1.5. It is book 1 told by different characters. And I've started that book, but I kind of put it off to the side to read other books. So I'm going to head back on over to the world of Celeria and finish that book. Okay, so that's it for this video. This doesn't really follow anything I do, but I kind of wanted to regroup a little bit in preparation for the new year, also for the new month. So we've got our goals ready, we've got our TBR game ready, we've got our TBR ready, and we're gonna practice the game this month with these books. And that's pretty much it. What are your goals for 2026? Your reading goals? Maybe just the number, or if you have any other reading goals that are kind of fun to try out, let me know. I hope you have the best day ever and your coffee tastes like magic. Go read a fun book. Bye.